Hey gang, quick video this morning. I wanted to teach you about the whiteboard KPIs, the whiteboard metrics that were really helpful in my facilities. This whiteboard actually changed everything in terms of the engagement of my team, and we've since made a couple of improvements that if you're not already doing this in your facility, I think you should start. The point is first off, understand that we have this tendency in life to always keep score until we get to work, right? We go work out, we go for a run, we go fishing, we go hunting. There's always a point of measurement. How many reps, how far you ran, how big the animal was, whatever it is, there's a point of measurement until we get to work. So it's important that we put in a point of measurement at work, not only so we know if we're winning or losing, but more importantly so that there's dialogue amongst our team, because it's impossible for everyone to collaborate and achieve the best outcome possible if they don't understand the target they're aiming for. So what I've done is, in my facilities we kept it to 5, but I really have started to think that we needed to expand it just slightly to ensure that it really covered the things that were the most important. So this is essentially what your whiteboard could look like, just to kind of run you through what you see here. Our headings, these numbers represent the metric from last month, which I'll explain in just a moment. These are the weeks of the month, depending on whether there's 4 or 5 weeks on any given month, and then this is our goal outcome for each. So first one we have is attendance average. Now when we were doing this in my locations, we were using total attendance, which was helpful, but I actually think average attendance is better because it gives a real true number to strive for week after week. So this would represent the average attendance from the previous month, and the down arrow would indicate that overall attendance was down from the month prior. So we know that in a perfect world we're going to see an upswing. Now attendance is a bit of a tricky one because of course certain months of the year, like July for example, December, typically lower attendance months, and there's not a whole lot that we can do about it. But what I like about attendance and why it's on this board is because trainers instantly see it. Trainers are very aware of what's happening with attendance, and therefore it makes really good sense to them to keep them engaged and involved. For one-on-one clients, we would use average number of appointments completed. So really the same metric, just instead of classes, the number is going to be smaller because it'd be based on the number of appointments. Obviously, here's our goal. We're trying to break 3,000 plus, and actually before I started the camera, we changed this. So this would be the weekly average, which would be approximately 500 to 600, right, based on what we have. So set that goal, set a target to strive and aim for. Number of members is just like it sounds. This is long-term members, not including your trials. So essentially, these are EFT or paid in full members that are currently active. So we show whatever the total was for last month and whether that was up or down. And then week by week, we establish the current so the team can see what's going on with the trend. Drops, cancels, same thing. So if anybody canceled their program week after week, this is a cumulative number, right? So this would be total drops for the month. There was 19 last month. We're going to measure up at any month we're less than 10. Before and after photos. So we had 1 last month, which obviously isn't great. We had 0 in the first week. Before and after photos, we obviously can't get from a report in Zen Planner or Club Ready or MindBody, whichever one you're using. So this is great. We use the team to actually collaborate on this one. So every time a before and after would be collected, we would just do the old kind of log the number that way. 6 week is going to be 6-week challenge sales. EFT paid in full will be the number of closes for those that are doing the sales in your facility, so the whole team can discuss and see what's going on as sales takes place. And then this one was also added for referrals, right? So and same thing as we did with before and afters, we would just log those as they come in. Now each week it's really important that this becomes a point of dialogue. So I totally recommend having just a 10-15 minute quick team meeting. We call it a team huddle, where you'd huddle around the whiteboard and talk about the numbers. What we found, especially the first thing that happened when we put up the whiteboard, is that people became aware of the drops, and they started to ask, like, who are the people that are canceling? Because the trainers often don't even realize when people are leaving until they see a number like this. And we were able to save quite a few memberships that way because trainers have such great relationships with these people. They now started to engage them more, which ultimately allowed us to keep a few more of those people. So it's really, really important that you and your team just has 10-15 minutes each week to talk about this. What does it mean? What are we going to do this week? How can we generate additional referrals? How many buddy passes did you hand out last week? Who's doing well in the 6-week challenge? Who's struggling? How can we get some more referrals or more sales for the 6-week challenge? What's happening with our member trends? What's happening with the season? The point is, it's not so much a grade. Well, it is a grade, but the more important thing is it creates dialogue with the team. And that's the really, really key takeaway with this. In our facilities, it was really hard to get everyone together. So if you can't do your team huddle live, do your team huddle by Zoom. And I think what I've seen with our coaching calls and within the group, that ability to collaborate, see the replay, and for people to attend from the comfort of their own home, especially for just 10 to 15 minutes, might make it easier for you to overcome whether it needs to be a paid thing on payroll or whether people are just happy to attend. And at the very least, it's going to allow you to keep it very, very efficient. But it's super, super key to meet with your team for just 10, 15 minutes and discuss these numbers each and every week.